We're back, and joining us on screen right now is Dustin Ferguson, who's an American underground filmmaker from Lincoln, Nebraska. He has directed numerous music videos and more than 100 horror films since 2007, including The Amityville Legacy. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, thank you for having me, and thank you for choosing to show our short.
It's so fantastic.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It definitely was a group effort. We tried really hard with this one. And I'm actually going to turn my volume down on my computer so I can hear you better. Give me 2 seconds.
Absolutely. I love seeing everybody's video collections. When
like the videos and the bookshelves and everything.
These are actually my movies that I directed. I'm kind of showing them off in the
Oh,
back.
no way, that's awesome. You gotta promote, man. So looking at this film, I mean, there's lots of interesting touch points. I mean, you had Sally Kirkland, who is an Oscar nominee. You've got Rocky Gray from Evanescence, who did the score for it. I mean, are these connections obviously? Tell me a bit about your background, because I mean, you've pulled in some quality talent on this thing.
Thank you so much. That means a lot that you say that. Well, I've been making movies for about 15 years. I'm originally from Lincoln, Nebraska, and I moved out to California a little over 3 years ago. I was born in 1982, so I obviously grew up in the era of Stephen King adaptations. All the good stuff of the 80s and 90s that came out, big into, Maximum Overdrive, Children of the Corn, all of the good stuff that came out then. And so actually, I was a fan of the original short by Frank Darabont, The Woman in the Room. I actually have the VHS still. And I watched it not too long ago, about a year ago, and got to thinking about the Dollar Babies thing. And I'm like, I'm not like a film student, but I'm a huge Stephen King fan. And I would be willing to still do this project, obviously, just out of the love of having to do something with Stephen King. And so I reached out to the webmaster to see if this was like still a thing, and found out it was. And I was like, you know what? Let's do this. I've been wanting to do something having to do with Stephen King my whole life. He was a huge inspiration to all the films that I do. So like you said, we kind of pulled out all the stops. I threw a little bit of money into this. We got, real locations, a high quality actress and music, and really just tried our best.
And so where did you film it? Like what city were you in?
So that studio, that was a hospital room in a studio in Sylmar, which is just outside of LA.
Okay, right on. Right on. Yeah, I mean, like that's Sally Kirkland is a serious pedigree. And I mean, the fact that you chose The Woman in the Room, which is arguably, the most famous Dollar Baby, because it sort of launched Frank Darabont's career, a super, super bold choice. Like, good for you, man.
Thank you.
And so have you and Eric worked in the past together? I feel like looking at the credits, that he had a hand in like a bunch of stuff. So is that an ongoing thing?
Yeah, we kind of go make it old school like John Waters used to do, and all the prolific directors that worked with a lot of the same cast and crew to kind of build a thing. So Eric is someone that I've been working with for a few years now. We recently just did an Amityville film together. We did Rattlers 2, and he was a big part in this. And also the guy who played the doctor, Robert Langford, played Bubba in my Meat Hook Massacre franchise. We've worked together since the Nebraska days. And so this was really like a community effort of a lot of people that have been working together for a long time, for sure.
Right on. Very cool. Leah, do we have anything on the Twitters?
Oh, we sure do, of course. So this is coming from Justin_Dravic, and let me give this guy a quick shout out. He's been a huge supporter just on Twitter. He's like, I'm going to help these guys out, and has. So thank you, Justin. But his question to you is, who made the poster? And it's badass. It looks so good.
Oh, thank you. Rocky Gray, who did our score, did the poster, actually.
Wow.
And it was sort of a two-piece deal I did with him to do the art and the music.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
I love it. It's one of my favorites. Let me scroll through here. I know there's more.
So did you so you shot a video for him, for Rocky in exchange for, or sort of like you guys had like sort of an ongoing relationship where you met him through a video, or tell me a bit about that.
So Rocky actually, he did the score for a movie I did called Robo Woman, which kind of notoriously was on Best of the Worst from Red Letter Media about a week ago. And so Yeah, so we met, during then, and I reached out to him because I know that he's a King fan also, and I did pay him, just to cash for this. I was like, hey man, if can we work out a deal because you're a talented artist, and I really want to work with you again with your music. I'm doing the Stephen King project. Can we strike a deal? And he was all about it. And he did the poster first so that we could kind of build hype and get people attached to the film. And then once I had locked the rough cut, I gave him that, and he just scored it kind of the way John Carpenter does. He just sat down and scored it to the feature.
Cool. We actually have people asking in the chat if the poster is available for sale somewhere.
A few people have said that on Twitter too.
Okay, well, obviously this is Stephen King property, so I can't just be like selling stuff. But what I do always say is anybody can get an autographed 11 by 17 poster of anything I've made for a flat $10 plus shipping. So if you want
boom.
that, you can hit me up on Facebook.
Excellent.
You guys heard it. I do have another question from Might Steven. Can you comment on the decision to change the ending, the son giving her the pills instead of leaving them for her to take herself?
Even as it is, I feel like it's kind of left open to interpretation. A lot of people I noticed were asking questions, so I wanted just to make it more definitive. There was a few artistic choices, that I made with this just to make it not completely predictable. Another thing that we did was we switched the brother to a sister. So like when he's talking, she's trying to convince him. We thought that her lack of empathy would be interesting coming, that she was a female versus like a more hardened, old-fashioned brother character. So we wanted to just kind of like spice it up a little bit while still staying true to the roots, obviously, of the story.
Right on.
Have you been watching all weekend with us, and do you know that there is a very special haiku coming for your film?
There is.
Oh,
No,
we busted you.
I've been tuning in and out, but
Okay, so our friends at Dairy Public Radio have written a haiku about every single film we've shown. So this is about yours. A son grants his mom a release from suffering. Now the pain is his. Oh, guys, that's so deep. And they give the woman in the room 5 out of 5 blue chambray shirts. Woo!
Oh, thank you so much. That means so much to all of us.
Right on. Okay, so we're gonna run out of time here, but we gotta ask you, what is your dream Stephen King project? So if you could pick any property and adapt it to a film, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. Creep Show. I mean, I love Creep Show. I'm all about anthology horror, and that's very 80s, especially Creep Show 2, which I know is sort of like the black sheep. People either love it or hate it. But I really, really, especially have been enjoying the new Creep Show series on Shudder. I think it's amazing. So to be involved in a property like that, I think would definitely be a dream come true to me.
Right on, right on. And where can people find you? I know you said Facebook, but I mean, and SoCal Cinema obviously is a thing. Like where, like Twitters, Instagrams, all that kind of stuff.
Well, you can just find me on Facebook under my name, Dustin Ferguson. I've got a public page, so anybody can follow me there. I am not super tech savvy, so I don't have like a Twitter, but I have an Instagram actually for my rap account. Y'all, I'm a rapper too, and you can find me there at the Only Dirty D.
That's
amazing.
That
love
is
it.
amazing.
Right. And now I don't feel like such an asshole for not being able to find a Twitter to tag you in because, the party's been there. I'm like, I can't find him or SoCal. So I hashtagged you. You can go find yourself that way.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I see you've been following in the chat. So, I mean, that's good. You've been getting the praise and the love. And that's like one of the best things about this festival is that interaction. What are you working on right now?
Okay, so I'm currently working full-time for Wild Eye Releasing. I just finished a movie called Arachnado 2. Arachnado, Ebola X, and Angry Asian Murder Hornets were some pandemic movies I made last year that kind of went viral. So we're just finishing up that series. So I do typically, like last year I did 16 feature films, and this year I'm doing about 10 or 11. So it's about a movie a month.
That is crazy,
That's insane.
Dude. Good for you for being so productive. Yeah.
Crack his ass into shape. Well, thank you so much for being here, Dustin. We loved your film, and
it was awesome.
Have a great rest of your evening.
You too. I look forward to the rest of the shorts. Thank you.
Cheers.